Good evening and welcome to the preview for Sha Tin. It's a very ordinary meeting, this one. 4 races have got a pile of unraced in them, so we've got no interest there. There's no jackpots anywhere. The big jackpot's next week, midweek at Sha Tin on the all-weather. So we'll be waiting for that, I think. As I said, it's a low-grade card with better races coming up in the future, so I don't think we'll bother getting too involved. The last race might present a little bit of value, and race 8 maybe, depending on the prices, we might have a little tickle there. Race 1 unraced, so we're not interested there. We go to race 2, typical class 5. Beauty King, Marira goes on this. Very interesting riding change. Track work's been a little bit better. It's got a chance. Just missed here. It's trialling all right, but its racing pattern just finds trouble all the time, goes back and gets into trouble. You take a chance with it. I wouldn't want to be taking short prices about it. If it was double figures, you might want to consider it, but not in single figures. Spectacular Reward. This is an older horse. Runs its best races here. It'll be up on the speed. We're 51.5 after the claim. Probably lead or sit behind the lead. It's got to go in as a chance. Lotus Love, Winning Advantage, Gorgeous Life, awful race. 5 on top from 2 and 14, chances to 13, 7, 11. Race 3's got unraced. Race 4, probably faster more. Its racing pattern is no advantage. It'll get back. Although from barrier 5, there's a chance you'll try and drive it up along the rail somewhere, get behind the leaders. Thanksgiving, barrier 1, it should ping out and get into a nice spot from there. Gun Pit, now this only had 2 starts. Both of them have been very, very good. Wouldn't need to improve much in a field of like this where most of them can't walk now. So it's got to go in. And Telecom Prince, it's racing in the best form of its career to date. And with Maria on it, it's probably the logical favourite. I think they're the only 4 winning chances. The rest just don't have any form. 5 on top from 2, 3 and 7. We go to race 5, 1800 metre class 5. Mobile King, it's drawn barrier 3, Mosse. A good run last start. You should be able to get it up onto the speed with a bit of luck, and as long as he's not too wide, it's not a bad sort of race for it, because most of them again lack a little bit of form. Natural Champion won well last start, but barrier 13, 60 kilos, that's no help. Optimisation Star, another one that finds trouble, but Purton goes on it, so that's a plus. Namjong Turbo is an interesting one. Nice piece of track work the other morning. Nothing super flash, but a little bit better than normal for it. And I think with the 58.5 from a barrier 5, I think this is the front runner. If they leave it alone in front, the only one that can go with it is probably Infinite Courage. So as long as these two don't get involved into a speed duel up front, and one of them takes a sit, whichever one takes a sit, it's the one to beat. So it'll be between 2 and 10, because there's just no speed, and most of these are back markers, so they're all going to be sitting back. And these 1800 metre races tend to be run in that stop-start fashion, so these two could get away with murder up front, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them both kick away at the top of the straight, and the rest might be struggling to run them down. Of the rest, the old gangster Humongous is there, and probably Burgundy Mac. Not a race I'm particularly keen on, but I've got 4 on top from 5, 2, 10, 9 and 1. Race 6 has unraced, so does race 7. We go to race 8. Interesting race, this one, 1,000 metre race. Now, anything drawn 10 or wider in these races, or 9 or wider in these races, has a distinct 2 or 3 or 4 length advantage. Drawing the inside here is absolute murder. There's only about 2 horses all season that have won that have drawn the wrong side, and one of them's a thing that's won 3 out of 4, and it's pretty smart. Pure Force will be in the market. It's drawn the wrong side of the track. The favourite will probably be Marrera's ride, Super Abundant. Nice trial. Now it's drawn barrier 6. Now going through and looking at its times, it's never run any time, this horse. It's running at least 6 to 8 lengths slower than some of these things are run on a bad day. So could be a risky favourite, this. Tango Fire, it's got the right draw and the right weight. It's going to be hard to beat. Dame Patrol's the one that has caught my eye off the track work. Broke 22 closing off the other morning. It's the first time in about a month that this horse has actually fired up at track work. No trial, so that's interesting. And it's drawn barrier 13, so it's going to hit the outside rail first. Now, if it runs up to any of the runs behind Amber Sky or Grimmy where they break 56, these won't see it. All they'll be doing is chasing its ass. So I'm hoping he's got it back. It's lost a bit of form for 4 runs. Now, it did the same thing last season and then pinged it this time of the season. So it's an interesting format when you look at his training pattern. It's almost identical last season to this season. So be very wary of this horse. Now, it's opened up $7.80, got out to $10 already. That's way unders anyway for this horse. This thing only ever wins at a price. So I expect this to get out to 15 plus. If it gets out to around the 15, 20 to 1 mark, we may consider playing a Quinella, given that the things that are in the market are drawn the wrong side of the track. And it's a real interesting 1,000 metres down the straight here, because it doesn't matter if a horse has got absolutely no form. He's got 5-length advantage the moment he draws out there. It's the bias is unbelievable. It's been like that all season, and there's been quite a few times that horses that got absolutely no form draw out 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14, and all of a sudden they can run a place at 50 to 1. So I've got Tango Fire on top from Dane Patrol. I've left Super Abundant in on the chance that Marrera can get it across and not be too far off them. Of the rest, I've sort of looked at the horses drawn out wide, touch and go, although this is not his track. He runs his best races 1,000 metres at the Valley. But he has drawn 10 with no weight. Berlinski's trialled really, really well, but again, he's drawn the wrong side of the track, unfortunately. If he had drawn the right side of the track, I'd nearly have this on top. But I'm just concerned that the 1,000 metres and the wrong side. But he's probably got more upside than most of these. I've got 5 on top from 11 and 1, chances to 3, 7, 10, 14. We go to race 9. Archipus, this was a tragedy beaten last start. Had a nice soft trial since. It's ready to go. Should beat these, even with barrier 13. Might be an advantage actually out there. You can just sit and not get into any trouble. Wonderful moments. Pretty smart horse this. It's trialled really well. It should be in the finish. Great Sky, another one that's gone really well at the trials. And interesting to note that the top 3 have all drawn the river. So it's going to be an interesting race this in the first 400 to see who can get the spot. But they got a decent run in, so it shouldn't be that big a deal. Why not? Giggles Forever, Jaeger Bomb, best of the rest. 5 clearly on top from 6, 3, 10, 11 and 8. We go to race 10. Dundonald. It's been racing really well. Had no hope last start. It was in the wrong race. This is more its go back to class 2. Burton goes on, gets up onto the speed. Be hard to run down. Bullish Friend. The distance is the concern, the 1400, but it's in good form and holding its form reasonably well. There's a couple here that haven't got any form that I think are going to improve at a bit of a price. That's number 8, Sea Dragon, number 9, Deep Thinker, and number 10, Sea Diamond. Marrera goes on to Sea Diamond, and this has worked really well and trialled well. So we might see the real Sea Diamond here. Early in its career, it was terrific. Come back this preparation and done nothing, but I think it's closer to the mark now. I've got 2 on top from 1 and 8, chances to 9, 10, 3 and 12. We go to the last race. Swift Shadow, terrific win last start. Now it's drawn much better. I think it's going to get to the front. There's not a lot of speed in this race, and there's quite a few of these are dirt trackers. So Principal's drawn bad, but its trial was good. Got beaten a couple of lengths in the trial, but he never let it go. Could have won easy if he stoked it up a bit. Formula One with 52 kilos from barrier one should get up onto the speed. Vincent Ho rides well, no problems there. Of the rest, nice folks. Helene Funstar, stay ahead. I think this one's got a bit of upside, and barrier 12's no help, but it'll be charging home late. I've got two on top from 5, 12. Chances to 1, 3, 6, 4, and 13. Probably best of the rest. As I say, very poor meeting. Not surprising. We do get a couple like this at this time of the year. There'll be a slight changeover now as the horses that raced in the early part of the season go for a brief 6 or 7 week gap, and then we'll see them again in early June for the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. We start getting a little bit of new blood coming back off 7 and 8 and 10 week gaps. So there's always a chance to fluke one at a price now, because they play ducks and drakes with them and send them to the trials and pull them up. So as I say, at this stage, possibly race 8 if we get the price around and work around Dame Patrol, Tango Fire, and possibly race 11, although looking at the early market, the 3 that I've earmarked at the top of my ratings are the first 3 in the betting, and I'm never keen on playing when we're working around the first 3 in the market. Thanks for tuning in. As we indicated and as we started last week, we'll bet in running. Bets will go up obviously in advance, so there's no problem. You'll know what we're on at least 15, 20, 30 minutes before the race. And as I did last week, we'll put them up one at a time so you can see where we're progressing during the day. There won't be any early bets tomorrow, so there's nothing of any great interest until virtually 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't see anything there during the day, don't worry. If we're not going to bet at all, I will make that quite clear and put up a post just saying no betting today, and everybody will be aware. But at this stage, as I said, we're looking at the last couple of races. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and good luck if you play tomorrow.